Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah bara UDP forum ngamo be kontong altonal kontong mangi ni the entire forum bi yep kepa ku nek turam ak sen sant di ko commencé from the chairman bi am Keba Bojang to the PRO Lamin Cissé ñom Aba Fatou Malen ya Aïssatou Turam Bisal, Ismaila Sonko de mom gëj naa ko dégg trop. Ismaila, how have you been with the family in UK? maa ngi si jàmm and Ibrahima and the family in United States. And I was saying hello to everybody. maa ngi nuyu ñëpp waaye fàttewuma kenn bàyyuma kenn gannaaw. Kebe wana ko wuleng everybody alay kamara ngal be konto wo. And alaga sa you are doing great job it is the nature of my job moo tax right now dama dee xala jàppa trop moo tax pour ñëw si forum bi some it takes time Aba, bravo to all of you, for keeping the forum lively, yeah, and vibrant. Alaji, mbe konton na bake yo. Hai. Ni ko justice yalo. Jamal buka familia no bake wala no. But alaji ndika bem bake. Nika bem bake sako korkala palaso roje jeninje. Nkana na nyetara sirinje korkala dulato je nka bulorila. Mbe do ko la QSL, mbe no QSL barala office jela bar say montar je ko tek wala yatina. Alnim barabake. Fana baraka, thank you.
If the waves had moved into the Atlantic Ocean, we would have had another case of Jola probably. So why do you sit there and you wait for those things to happen when you have the possibility of doing routine, regular maintenance to make sure that those ferries work properly, and don't tell us we've been doing it, but there are other factors. These factors are supposed to be taken into account by the government to make sure that they have a duty of care to the Gambian people. They have a duty of care to all the people who use the ferry, Gambian and non-Gambian. So they feel that duty of care. Now he sat there and told us as he signed an agreement with a company in Holland that is going to bring solar-powered ferries and the ADB is going to finance.
Lamin, I think it's called.
Yes. I would want us to know, has this agreement been signed with the ADB? Has the ADB gone to approve it at its board level? Because I see no evidence of it anywhere in the ADB. So if that has been done, tell us whether ADB has approved this funding and for how much it is, etc. But before that, tell us why these ferries had to go completely out of service, and the whole Gambian population crossing that end is at risk. And you see these old people being carried on the backs of young people, men and women, to cross that bridge and to cross that area, to go into boats and off boats. That is totally humiliating for those people, and that is unacceptable from any government.
Okay. Can you start with the National Assembly thing, because you were, you were raring to go.
Yes, I mean, I just want to ask him, where have you seen any PPP project gone to National Assembly for ratification? No. I mean, I was listening to you because this was a PPP. This was a PPP project. This is a PPP project. Where is the president?
Does it require National Assembly approval or not?
There is no PPP project requires National Assembly approval.
Okay.
Above all, I am not the Minister of Justice. I'm not a legal person, but he is also not a legal person to determine and force that on the throat of the government. Okay. No, you are wrong completely. No.
Sillah, address me. Let's move on. Okay, so that it doesn't require National Assembly approval, so we move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
now
the ferries. The ferry issue also.
3 ferries you sat idly by and saw them disintegrate.
Absolutely
one
false.
by one.
Absolutely false. When I assumed office in May of 2022, the first thing that I did as part of my engagements was to go around the various institutions under my watch. And I went to the ferry services and I saw the condition of the ferries. An instruction was given to completely overhaul and change the entire engines of those ferries. By that time, Johe was only operating on a single machine or two, and then it was already about to be out of service. Now, Kanilai and Kunta Kinte was at least in a better shape, but it was having some occasional issues with its engines. And I instructed that because Kunta Kinte is the biggest and the fastest and the newer among the lot, let them, take the initiative to change the machines and then completely renovated them. Now, that process started, it went to board.
It started when?
Well, within the same 2 months, all right?
2 months of your appointment?
2 months of my appointment.
So this was
right?
Around June, July, latest, 2022.
July or August. July or August.
2022.
Let me finish. July or August.
Yeah.
All right? And then they went through, because with these machines, these engines are not available in the south. You have to go and then order them, go through a process, give the specifications, and the company will have to build them fresh. All right? Now, that was done after the board approved it, the necessary funds were raised, and then they went through procurement.
When was board?
I cannot give you like a month to month, say, analogy of how
it would have helped. Huh?
No, but I can tell you that before the end of 2022, the procurement process started, and then the Caterpillar of the US with their subsidiary in Dakar, Senegal, which is responsible for the Caterpillar in Western Central Africa here, their main office is in Senegal, won the contract. And then specifications were given to them. Then, they started building the engines.
When?
This was mostly in the fourth quarter of 2023.
Okay.
Right? And then it took I think 6 to 8 months for the building of the engines to complete. Now, when the finishing was done, the engines were shipped to the Gambia, but they had to pass through Dakar because there was a disruption to the supply chain. And then when they reached Dakar, we transported them to the Gambia around December of 2023. And then January of 2024, because these engines, they come in different parts. They are new ones. It's not like, something like your studio, where you have everything built and then, you put it in your bag and then bring it. No. Then all the parts came into this country in different intervals, and they were fixing these things in the workshop. Now, when the fixing was done, the assembling of the parts were completed. The decision was taken, I think, in March or February of this year, to slip 𝒂𝒂𝒃 into the shipyard to go into repair, and then for Kanilai to go into minimal services. Unfortunately, while 𝒂𝒂𝒃𝒃 was being completely repaired and repainted, and the new engines, being fixed, Kanilai also had a problem. This was an unforeseen situation. Unforeseen.
Just go ahead.
Please, it was an unforeseen situation because Kanilai was to continue its minimal service, so that by the time it was ready, 𝒂𝒃𝒃 was ready within the 6-week scope that was given. That would have been in service again, fresh, new, and then Kanilai would be slipped also into the shipyard for it to go through a repairs.
But what happened to this one that had these new machines, fitted already and everything?
No, there was no ferry that had a new engine, that had a fitted problem.
I thought you said we ordered and received.
No, that's what I'm saying. They were
engines
fixing
in different boxes.
Three. Each of them is 3 engines.
Yes.
𝒂𝒃𝒃 was the one they were fixing.
Yes.
While they were fixing it, Kanilai had a problem.
Yes.
You understand?
And then what happened to 𝒂𝒃𝒃?
It has still been fixed. In fact, it is yesterday that they slip it into the water to now to fix the complete engines and to do test runs. No, hold on, please, no.
The last time I spoke to you, Sillah, you were predicting that we could have at least one ferry back in operation as of this week.
Yes, and that is still in order. I said, in operation means it will have to do test runs. You'll have to, because
So this 𝒂𝒃𝒃𝒃 is ready to, do its test run.
Well, this week, we are very hopeful that will happen.
Okay, all right. And these machines, because there's word going around that actually 2 machines that came in, whether ordered from Senegal or just via Senegal, turned out to be machines for buses rather than
buses.
Yes,
I'm not an engineer.
Rather than ferries.
Hold on. I'm not a marine engineer.
Let me tell you what is
That's
out
what
there.
People are saying.
Yes.
Okay, I've not heard that.
So no such thing is happening.
No,
the machines that have come in different boxes are machines for our ferries.
For our ferries.
Particularly, precisely 𝒂𝒃𝒃𝒃. And by the end of this week, it should be sailing again.
Exactly, for test runs. And if they are for different, engine specs, I mean, that would be for the engineers to determine that.
All right.
I think that should be made clear.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
To determine that's for you, the minister who's overseeing this engineers.
No.
You are the person responsible for the engineers.
What I have, no, hold on. What I have is the way bill that indicates the Caterpillar engines for the ferries. Now, if somebody is spinning out there that, oh, they are boss engines, of course, I mean,
I hope they are not, but if they are, that is your responsibility as a minister. You are the one responsible for that, not the engineer. You are the one overseeing the engineers. You are their boss.
And that is why we gave them the specifications on the policy level. So hold on. You don't understand. I'm surprised.
Yes, you always come with that. You always come with that. You don't understand. But you are the one understanding
here. When you do the procurement, listen to me. When you do your procurement, the minister does not sit at that place to determine.
He oversees.
No, he oversees only when the process is done. He doesn't
participate. It's your responsibility.
The responsibility of the minister is to ensure that the policy is there. And the policy is go and buy the right engines for... No, please.
You will be more respected. You will be more respected as a minister if you take responsibility.
Because I do the right
if you take the responsibility for it. Take responsibility for your ministry.
If you come here and tell us the right things which are not
you are in charge of a ministry.
I am in charge of the ministry.
So you are responsible for the ministry. So do not
you are not happy this minister is doing what you expect to be doing as opposition.
I am not happy because you are a disappointment.
Yes,
because if you tell me it takes you 18 months,
that in the opposition who are so unhappy with what this government is doing.
You can shout as much as you see. If you are telling the truth, you don't need to shout.
I am telling the truth.
If you are telling the truth, you don't need to shout. And if you are not telling the truth, you should be quiet. So either case, you should not shout. Okay? If you are telling the truth, you should not shout.
I am telling the truth. What the people of this country want to hear. That's what this minister is saying. What the opposition are disappointed at, they don't want to hear.
You are a disappointment.
Yes,
because if you are telling the truth, you should not shout.
Okay, this is becoming personal now. So we will end.
It will become personal, Peter, because you have an opposition element who is all out nowhere trying to discredit a government that is doing its job.
I'm telling you as a minister, if you are telling the truth, I don't need to shout.
I am very truthful.
Okay, gentlemen, I am closing your microphones. Nobody is hearing you now, and we are bringing this conversation to a close. I'll give 2 minutes to each person. When I started the conversation, it opened with Sillah. It was you, all right? So I will end the conversation by giving Manneh 2 minutes, 2 minutes from now, for closing remarks. And I hope you'll keep it, non-personal.
Closing remarks, when I came in here, I said to him, and even before, I want to keep this a dispassionate, facts-based discussion, and he comes here, he raises his voice, he's offensive, because he doesn't want to discuss the issues. You see, first, one of two things. If you are telling the truth, you don't need to shout. Just make your point, and your point will speak for you. If you are not telling the truth, you should be quiet because you should not want to try to disgrace yourself. But you shouldn't go telling people things that are offensive just because you don't want to discuss the issues. These are issues which the Gambian people deserve to know. And you have the responsibility to tell them that. You are the minister who has been appointed by Barrow to oversee these things. When things go wrong, the right thing to do is man up and say, I take responsibility for this. What is wrong, I will handle at my ministry's level. I will take responsibility for my staff. You stand up for your staff, you don't blame them. You take responsibility for what is done, and then afterwards you go sort it out with them. If you need to put anybody on suspension or whatever to sort things out, you do that. But out there, you stand up for them, and you man up, you own up to responsibilities. You don't share responsibilities, you don't shy away from them. That is what I expect from a leader. So I would have expected him at this point to have come, because he tells you, oh, I didn't come prepared with this. Come with the facts, and don't ask us to do the things that you are supposed to do. Our job is to point out the inconsistency and the wrong things that you are doing, and it's up to you to explain those things to us. When you tell me that it takes you over 18 months to order engines for ferries to come here and work, you are incompetent. At best, at worst, at best. Because it shouldn't take that long to order engines for a ferry.
Okay. Thank you very much. Sillah, your 2 minutes.
Yes, thank you so much, Peter, and I'm happy that this debate is held, and I'm ready again to come again with him. But to show that he is the angry folk here, I mean, they are the ones that are not happy that a government is delivering, and they are not happy with the people being happy with what the government is doing. Unfortunately for them, they will continue to see this minister delivering because this minister is very competent. He knows that. And if in case you doubt that, go and ask the leadership of the party that he is in. I was there before and they know whether I'm incompetent or not. So I am telling you that discharging my responsibilities is what I do, and I don't sell my people under the bus. I take my job very seriously, I deliver to the letter, and I make sure that what taxpayers expect from me as minister, I do that. However, within the value chain and the ecosystem of governance, the minister has a responsibility to lead on policy. The technical people and the technicians who actually deliver on those instructions as per policy dictates also have their own responsibility. But that does not mean that things that are happening under the ministry, this minister will run away from that. Just like I don't run away from debating him, I don't run away from my responsibility. They are the angry people, they are the ones who are not happy, they are the ones who are all over making all kinds of allegations, and they are always proven wrong. And the fact that, we sat here, this guy is talking about road construction, these, technicalities that, he doesn't even understand issues about, I can tell you that, Peter, he is the one who is not happy. Okay. I am very happy, I'm delivering my work, and I'm doing what is right, and I'm to the best of my ability, even though I'm a human being. So let him know that we are here, we'll be delivering to the best of their daring, and then, they can continue to criticize. We will deliver to the mandate given to us by the Gambian people. 2026 await us.
Ebrima Sillah, thank you very much for your time this morning. Ebrima Sillah is, of course, the minister responsible for transport works and communication. Lamin Manneh, thank you very much for coming. Assistant Secretary, responsible for External Affairs, UDP, also Gambians in the diaspora. And after that, oh, goodness me, great debate. Let's digest with Alhaji Barrow.
While I have my reservations about this idea of prosecuting Yaya.
Where did that come from?
If we said between $40 to $49.
Did I ever say that anywhere? No, no, hold on, please. For me, I'm not afraid of my opinion and also what I've said anywhere. All right? And I can go and repeat it anywhere. Don't misquote me. I have never said.
Go ahead.
No, I said go ahead. We were collecting $40 million when we implemented the Senegambia bridge, not the Senegambia bridge. Yeah, enhancement, but also we had a toll bridge there. All right, when we started implementing the toll system, the revenue jumped to $40 million. That's what I said. I have never said anywhere $49 or $1 million. Completely false. Not true. No, I have never. Maybe another minister. Maybe another minister. But never me. All right. Secondly, I'm surprised that any educated Gambian who had worked in the international field, in an economic setting, can even think that a PPP project is a mortgaging of a national infrastructure. You mortgage it to who and to where? No, it's a PPP project. It's a PPP. If you don't understand anything about asset recycling, the finance minister will deal with you on that. I'm not a finance person, but I'm surprised that anybody who has any basic knowledge of economics and finance will sit here and compare asset recycling to mortgaging.
Sillah, he uses things like spinning and questioning educated and all of that. Let's keep the language civil.
The fact that you said what we are doing is an illegal process by not going to the National Assembly. When has it become a law that PPP projects should go to National Assembly for ratification?
That's where your ignorance lies.
No, okay, educate me. Now you educate me.
No. Let's
educate me.
Let's gentlemen,
enlighten you. When you sign an international agreement, you're not supposed to implement it unless it's ratified by Parliament. And this is an international agreement, and it should be ratified by Parliament first.
It's not an international agreement.
What do you mean?
This is a PPP project. Gambia government.
You don't understand this, do you?
Please, Gambia government.
You don't understand this.
No, you don't. It's you who don't understand. Honestly, I'm surprised.
And I said that belongs to the government.
Of explanation.
And I am surprised by your ignorance.
Yes,
because this is
you a highly
enlightened. Gentlemen. Okay. We're going to a commercial break. If you guys don't want to continue, we can stop it there. Can we just have? Can we keep the language civil? Sillah, if you were to address me and you tell me I'm surprised an educated person, I take an offense. All right, I could sit there and tell you you are spinning the truth. It means that you are bending the truth. I have no problem with that is misleading, that is misinformation, and that sort of thing. But you know, I mean, to face somebody and tell them you are surprised that an educated person, you are belittling, you know, their education, and really you have to, you know. So let's keep it civil. Let's keep it civil. I think so far he's giving you the respect, you know, that is due you, and I think you should treat him, you know, again.
Mr. Manneh, sorry about that.
Exactly. Let's move on.
As a big brother,
He's apologized.
Accept. And you should stop being offensive and just discuss the issue.
No, that's all right.
So now let's go to the issues.
Let's
Let's go to the issues.
Exactly.
Let us go to the issues.
Let's address
Let us go
issues.
to the issues.
Yeah. Okay. The PPP. What's the benefit to the country? Okay. He is saying this thing is throwing money away. Tell us how we are gaining money from out of this. That is the burden of proof on you. Yeah.
If you think he's pinning, it's not correct.
Okay.
It's not correct.
Okay.
what is correct?
Okay.
This is an asset. You call it recycling, but it's mortgaging our asset. What is a mortgaging? When you give property to somebody over a period of time, and he gives you money, and when you repay back that money, you get your property back. That is the mortgaging. If you go to buy a house, you give the house, you give the title deeds to a bank, you mortgage it until you pay it back, and you get your money back. It's exactly the same thing here. So the PPP is an offshoot. It's an offshoot of that mortgaging. When you do the mortgaging, you get the money. Now you can use that money to do a PPP. And that's what he's failing to understand.
Okay. No.
So now, before you get to when you do this, it's an international agreement you're signing with Africa 50 to alienate our property for a particular period of time.
I've got to finish by 10:30.
Yes.
So okay. So for him, this PPP arrangement is not good for the Gambia. Why is the PPP arrangement good for the Gambia? How are we gaining from this?
You know, it's absolutely good for the Gambia on different fronts. Now, you know the infrastructure demand on the economy. Now, you have an opportunity where you have a built infrastructure already that can generate revenue for you.
Yes.
So now you imagine that within a specific number of years, and the 25 years that he talked about is not in fact the correct explanation.
Well, that's what we were told.
No.
That's what we were told.
But Peter, there was a caveat there.
Yeah, tell us what the caveat is. But 25 years
either
is
or,
correct.
Either or.
Yeah, but you cannot dispute the 25 years.
I'm not saying what I'm saying.
No, you said the 25 years is incorrect.
No, I said the explanation that he is trying to portray that it is 25 years because the contract that or the heads of terms that we have is either or. When you make your money before 25 years...
So when they recover their $100 million after 2 years even, the contract will end there?
Well, even if it is 1 year.
Okay.
If you make your money,
of
course, you can renegotiate.
He made the point that part of this that was coming was going to be put in a fund for infrastructure. Has that been done? And if
we have because you see what he doesn't even understand. Because the last time I heard him say that we have already spent 15 million from the. My
question is.
No, hold on. Let me finish because I have to lay the foundation.
My question is.
No money has arrived here from the bridge yet. All right. What's that? No, the minister has never said that. He put it as an anticipation in the budget. And I believe that anybody who actually reads the budget and you are honest to yourself, you will see there that these are anticipated funds from the bridge activity.
Okay, so the funds have not started coming in.
No.
And once the funds come in, they will be put where?
We already under the proposed contract that we are going to sign, we have an SPV there where the government and the Africa 50 will jointly be shareholders in that, SPV, special purpose vehicle. Now, the importance of this for the government, in addition to the front loading of the 100 million that we have, we will also have our shares from the SPV. How do you intend to use the 100 million? That's what we want to know. The 100 million, that will be for the finance minister to determine because he's in charge of the budget.
Okay. So you cannot
The Minister of Works does not, determine how government funds are spent. We have our projects, we submit to finance.
Can we move on to ferries?
Yes. Just quick small correction.
Yeah.
The SPV he's talking about and the front loading. The front loading is what? Getting the money up front. So just use the simple task for everybody to understand.
Yes.
The front loading he's talking about is when the money is paid to you up front. So the money is paid to you up front and you use it for something else. And the SPV he's talking about, that's not an SPV. That is a funding set up for them to manage the resources of what is coming out of the bridge. So go to Parliament. So the fund they sort of after 50 is to receive the proceeds from the rich, and then they all get their share. Their share is what is supposed to go into an SPV. If he doesn't understand that, he should go talk to his Minister of Finance.
Let's move. No, you will get your chance. Let's move.
So now the ferries.
To the ferries, yes.
Yes, the ferries.
To the ferries.
The ferries in the Gambia here, we have had 4 working ferries. We've gone down to 3. And you sit there as Minister of Works and Communication, and you let the 3 ferries, let's take the 3, you let the 3 ferries break down one by one, getting stuck at sea and being at the mercy of the waves all the time. And everybody's complaining about this. And you sit there and you let the whole thing break down to a point where the ferry services stops completely. The last incident we had, the ferry was moved by the waves to Al-Jamdu.
You don't have problems of resources like basalt and other necessary materials that you put on the road. You have abundance of basalt. You have abundance of bitumen that is locally even manufactured there. In this country, everything about our road except laterite and even quality laterite, you have to travel, if you are in the urban area, almost 150 kilometers to get that. No, hold on, please. Go ahead, please. Nobody's interrupting. 22 years ago, you built a road $1.2 million. Today, you are building a road per kilometer, $1 million. And you want to tell me that, that is even a logical comparison? Please, for God's sake. We are building this road, almost everything that you see on that road, except basalt and sand, are all imported from outside.
And of course, how much you are spending specifically on the roads. That will come later on. Let's move on. Senegambia next.
Okay, Senegambia, but just before I go to that, the latest, I've left the ADB now, but the latest road construction work he's doing is still in that region of $1 to $1.3 million per kilometer.
Okay.
So that hasn't changed much. Okay. So he is just spinning. Okay. Now, this Senegambia bridge, he told one of the programs, I can't remember which one, that they were making about $52 million.
Okay.
40, and then you went over to 40, 49, 52. Yes, you went up. You went up to 52.
Yeah, okay, that's all.
So at the time with the exchange rate of the dollar, that was almost $1 million per month. Okay, for 25 years, that is 300 million. And these guys went ahead and mortgaged that bridge, which we got for free. And they're telling us recycling. What will come to that? They mortgaged it for $100 million for 25 years. So a net loss, potential loss of 200 million for us. Okay. What's more, when they did that arrangement, they never told anybody until when it was leaked by some NC and BC journalists. And then they came back and said, yes, we did it. We signed a contract, etc., an agreement with Africa 50. And then they went ahead and said it's finalized. And the minister told us in the last budget that 15 million was going to come from that to the budget. What they had said was that they're going to put aside the 100 million to invest in infrastructure. And I said at the time, if you're going to do that, you shouldn't do this in the first place. But if you do that, you set up an SPV, social purpose vehicle, which is kind of a fund, social fund, in which you put the money for other investments, which you should prepare ahead of time. So you have your investment proposals, we're going to put infrastructure ABC, and we're going to do that to develop that. Okay? That never happened, one. Two, the money when the minister said they were getting 50 million for 2024 budget, nobody knows, at least we don't know where the money went. So has the money come to this government? Where is it put? Into what infrastructure? And more importantly, to be able to move with that, they should have taken that agreement to Parliament and have it ratified by Parliament, because it's an international agreement and it should be ratified by Parliament before they can proceed with that, and they never did. So they are in total violation of our constitution. So that agreement tomorrow can be called into question and will not stand. That is what we're seeing today happening in Senegal with PASTEF. They are calling into question a number of those programs which have been signed illegally and in violation of constitutional norms and even legal norms, and they are being called into question. And that is the same thing we're facing here. Why do you mortgage our bridge for 100 million when the potential can be its potential value?
Yeah. Peter, I am surprised. Mr. Manneh, you are a consultant, you are an economist.
Just answer. No. Just address.
I'm really
just
surprised.
Address his queries. Just address his queries.
I'm really surprised.
The Senegambia.
I have all the answers.
kurang le tara mina ko dange wala mina ko dange